Hi everyone, it's Robin Moser with Remax Realty Professionals, and I'm here today with Dena Knopp with Advantage Evaluations, an appraiser, and she's going to be giving us an update on how things have changed during the COVID for appraisals and how appraisals are still happening, and she's going to let you know how they're happening and how they're still highly effective. So thank you, Dena, so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, you've been out there, you've been doing appraisals. What's changed? What's different before and after COVID?
Well, the first thing was that obviously it all happened. It's been a lot of changes, very fast moving. Once the government declared us an essential service, once everything really got into that lockdown mode. And so RECA confirmed that appraisers were essential service and were categorized under the real estate agents. And so it doesn't mean the business is as usual. We still have to follow all the health guidelines, which includes the physical distancing. And so since we all have that social responsibility to flatten the curve, appraisers are doing their part as well. So we are still doing full appraisals, but we're doing a variety of ways that we can go about that. One of the most common is that we're doing a virtual inspection. So we will either use FaceTime or Zoom or different applications like that. And the homeowner will actually walk through the property and we'll direct them where we want to go and what we want to see. And there's other ways that it can be done as well. If it's a current MLS listing and has lots of really good photos, a lot of times that may be enough. So we make extraordinary assumptions in the report and to outline by what means that we acquired our information to be able to come to the value. So another thing I'd like to point out is sometimes people think that if it's the appraiser didn't go inside the property, that means it's a drive-by. But that's not necessarily the case. Most of the appraisals that appraisers are still doing are still full appraisals, and that meets the needs of lenders because there's a lot of things in full appraisals that are not in drive-bys and desktops. And so we just have to do a lot more work versus walking through the property to get the information. We're now doing it by a lot of electronic means.
Obviously, too, as I know you guys have a standard of measuring and stuff like that, that also obviously has to have been relaxed because if you're not measuring the property, you can't with everything that's going on. Am I correct with that?
Yes, exactly. So there'll be assumptions made, and each case is going to be different. It all depends on what information is available for that property. It can be different within the city versus some of the outlying municipalities, and what the last time that property was on MLS. I mean, the best thing right now is if it is still an active listing and the measurement reports are on there, then we can use that and rely on that. So there's a lot of different ways that we can get that information, but we make assumptions that that information that we have, that is correct.
Well, and obviously now, if you do have a realtor who has professionally had the property professionally measured, that's got to be a huge help to you, knowing that there has been some, although there is the residential measurement standard, but there has been some professional organization who's come out and did it instead of, me measuring a home and trying to figure out area and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's great. I love the measurement reports.
That's great. Now, you also have you been doing a lot of appraisals? Have you been finding that the appraisals are mostly for banks for refinance? Have you been finding them for new transactions? What is the majority of the appraisals that you're doing right now?
I kind of actually reached out to a bunch of appraisers in the city that I know, and it's mixed. It depends on that appraiser's practice and who their clients mainly are. I would say, there still are some sales going on, but I think it is weighting a little bit more towards the refinance work. And appraisers who do a lot of the lending work for the major lenders, they're probably the ones that are the busiest.
Okay, well, that's actually really good because it means that people are finding their way through this, whether it's not an ideal scenario, but people are finding their way through it. you know, we're going to come out on the other side, and, you know, we might be a little battered and bruised, but we're going to be there on the other side, and we're going to survive this. And it sounds like appraisers are really helping with that.
Yes, we're doing all we can.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Dena. I really, really appreciate it. We, of course, will put your contact information down below. And if anyone has any information or any questions that they want to talk to you guys about, or of course, get an appraisal, we'll make sure that they reach out to you.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for your time.